Child's wondering about Mantis, Defiant, or Enterprise from the Vent Store. That would kind of be, you know, obviously if you can get the Mantis from Incursions, that is the better part of it. But with Incursions running inconsistently, we don't know about that as an option. Defiant does take a while in the mid 30s to source through the Bajoran faction store, so picking up a handful of those to move that along a little faster isn't bad. Enterprise, I wouldn't waste. The shards are incredibly expensive, relatively speaking, as far as ship blueprints go. You know, if you look at, like, here, where is a Coronar? It's a level 46 rare. Those cost 6,700 apiece. A Kelvin, level 42 uncommon, costs 6,000 apiece. An Enterprise costs 10,600. What? But it's an epic ship. It's an epic ship. It's an epically overpriced ship is what it is. Insanely crazy. Defiants are 1,500 apiece. You could get six, seven. You can get 7 Defiant blueprints for the price of 1 Enterprise blueprint. You could get 1.5 Newton blueprints for the price of an Enterprise blueprint. And now, just because I'm curious, here, this is the G4 Epic. The G4 Epic, the Enterprise A, the level 50 Epic ship, is 7,200. So why the heck is the gosh darn level 34 G3 Epic 10,000 currency? Because nobody buys these. Everybody skips right past these in the game. And getting to a level 34 Epic is kind of a rite of passage in this game. That's kind of like your first huge milestone, right? That's like, I've done it. I've been playing this game for 6+ months. I got here, I got to this level, and I built this ship. Like, this is what the game was all about up to this point. Was getting to 34 and building an Enterprise, because this is Star Trek. And they're going to charge you 10,600 for the right to do it. Can I sell my blueprints for 10,000? You know what? I'll give you 50% of a discount. Let me sell them to you for 5,000, and you can resell them to other suckers for 10,000, and I will just take more event store currency. How about that? Absolute craziness. You forgot I was from New Jersey until I said Mario instead of Mario? It's me, Mario. You playing Mario Party? Trade in blueprints for event store currency? Right? Give me whatever you're selling them for, give me 10%, and I will go right on ahead and trade all of them in and clear out a lot of this excess junk in the inventory. Obviously, nothing you can do about the common ones, right? But put that in the game, Scopely. There's your next mechanic. There's your next $1,000,000 idea. You'll have players buying faction credits so they can cash them in to cashing in all their faction credits to get ship blueprints so they can sell them back to get event store currency. Probably not, but hey, you never know. Samuel, you need 1.6 million currency to promote all the officers you want to? Yikes. That's a little pricey. You may need a second job for that. Yeah, I mean, it's a great idea, right? How do we make that happen? Who do I talk to about this? You need a first job. You have a first job. It's called content creator. You were on at 11 o'clock last night having your awesome chat that I'm sorry I missed, but it was you and Morbid John and Dr. Iron Chef and the fourth person whose name I'm oh, Jesse was there. I'm like, who am I forgetting about that? Yeah, no, Jesse was there too. All you West Coast people and Hawaii time people were having a fun little stream last night. That counts. It's a hobby. It's a job. It's a hobby. It's a job that pays. So it's a hobby that you get paid for. So, Shauna was there too. I did not know Miss Shauna was going to be there. It's a no, a jobby is something different, Gonkar. I learned that from my friends on the EU servers. We call that in America an upper decker, I think. Top shelf in it. Yeah. All right, let's try and get caught up on what else I missed here in chat. So we can talk about the event store for a minute. Now, there's always a possibility some things in here may change, so I won't give overall recommendations about, I'll point out some things that are good, that have good value. Obviously, we just looked at ship blueprints. G3 epics are horrible value and should never be purchased through the event store unless you're, one short and you just can't wait any longer and you got that itch. But, I mean, seriously, don't do yourself the disservice of that. Good things to purchase out of here. Number one is a Meridian if you don't have one. Or if you only have one and you want a second one, because ISO mining is pretty important these days. There's a lot of different buffs to turn on in territories, especially if your alliance has 2 3-star territories, so they can have the Monavine blueprints plus the chronometric particle buffs. It's a lot of services to keep active. You need to be mining a lot of Isogen. It's hard for some people to keep up with. Having a second Meridian can help you with that. And this is really the only place to get it. It's a little pricey at $1,500 a blueprint. But, you're basically spending $150,000 for an entire Meridian. But it can give you some long-term benefits. The Monavine is in here as well if you're having trouble getting it out of territory. This can certainly help speed you up. Now, you are limited to half of it, but that will cost you less than a Meridian. Your half of your Monavine will be $112,500. And if we assume it's a standard month and you're looking at, like 450,000 currency, this is about a quarter of your month of your event store. So good value here, especially if you don't have the territory, or if you're sharing a territory with like another alliance and you're switching on and off, and it's going to take you forever. Buy half of it. Ships are ops locks, though. So if you can't see them, it's because you are not the appropriate ops level to build it yet. Anything else other than ships? Even the higher level ships and things like that start to get a little expensive. Like for me, it's 9,000 for a Sanctus blueprint. Probably won't buy them here because you can guide them with faction credits. Things you can buy with faction credits, which you can also convert Latinum to. If you prefer to do that instead of just buying with faction credits, you can convert Latinum into faction credits. Probably a better use than buying stuff through this particular store. Specialty ships that are hard to find, good thing to pick up here. If you're a lower level player, this is a great way to get your Franklin, get your Vidar, get your Discovery, rather than wasting 10 weeks waiting for one of them through Cosmic Cleanup every Saturday. The Franklin, super cheap. That actually seems a little more expensive than usual. 3,500 for 5 blueprints is what? 700 per blueprint? That seems a little higher than usual, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Vidar's about the same cost, though. Mantis is a good one to pick up, too, if you don't have enough incursion coins and things like that to get it through the incursion store. We're getting part of it here and getting part of it through the incursion store. Although that's probably gone now because we just had... Is that still open? Is the incursion store still open? Yes, the incursion store is still open. So whatever you can grab out of here for your Mantis, you're probably getting 100 coins per blueprint. You might get better value out of this. If you don't have the Mantis yet, to get as much of it from there as you can, and then supplement the rest of it out of the event store. Might make your life a little easier. Other ship blueprint cool things worth keeping an eye on? Yeah, that's really about it. Titan's okay. Defiant, okay. Speed this up a little bit for sure. You know, Titan's got a daily drip to it. If you don't have a second Stella, this is a good opportunity to grab one of those. 5 blueprints for 3,800. Not bad thing to pick up a second one of those. If you don't have a max Devore to scrap for to get a Fuchsia, getting half of one out of here and then scrapping a tier 8 Fuchsia or tier 8 Devore can save you certainly some time as well. So there's a few things there in the old ship blueprints one. You're sorry, what's Incursions? Incursions is the thing that they cancel and then give us the rewards for anyway. It's the best event ever. Voyager is not, from what I understand, Voyager is not in the event store. That, you know, if you have the ability to get to those Hirogen systems, it's not hard to kill enough of them to get the skulls to do the turn-ins for it. It does just take a little while, but it actually does source faster than the Defiant. So it's not a bad ship to grind in terms of getting a Voyager and getting that unlocked. It's not bad. Napalm's asking, is getting a jellyfish for the event for it good? The only event for the jellyfish is for the ISS jellyfish at level 39. This is the baby jellyfish. This is the level 15 jellyfish, or 13 jellyfish rather. This one's not bad. This one used to be good for like base defense and stuff like that, but they kind of changed the way well, I shouldn't say they changed it. They fixed it to what it was supposed to be all along. So it still has a little bit of a bonus that it adds to your captain's ability, but it's not nearly as good as it was 6 months ago. Exactly. See, everybody's loving incursions, right? Skipping incursions, just getting the store. Best iteration of incursions ever. Spent 5 hours doing solos with Exos. Best incursion. Exactly. There you go. Samo did the same thing. Now, as far as officers go, this is the big one. This is the one where most people go with. If you are below Ops 20, you will only see 3 officers to choose from. It's the 3 rares. You can't get epic officers until you're Ops 20 or above. Now, you only basically have officers that have been released since the last event store. So for rares, you have Neelix, who's the only one in the Voyager crew who was not in the previous event store. And then Freeman and Data have come out since then. 7 of 9 was released with Neelix. Then we had the other little mini arc here 2 months ago where you had Ransom, Billups, and Shax and Ta'ana. So they are in the event store, along with Carol Freeman, who kind of broke the game, and the new Picard. Carol Freeman is in the new Section 31 event store, so eventually you will have sourcing for her there. But if you're close to unlocking her or close to tiering her up, she's kind of the, top of the line when it comes to PvP right now. So getting additional shards for her, something to keep in mind. Doberman asking if that loot bonus works on solo armadas. Absolutely. All armadas, all hostile loot, those exocomps are ridiculously useful. doing your Voyager summons, doing your Mantis grinding. I took one trip in with my Talios and got like 3.5 million Mantis loot using Tal and 511 and just loaded up my Talios. Borg probes. If you're summoning the Borg cubes in the Voyager systems, you're getting more of those faction messages. I think I have a I think I'm pretty well stocked up for now, thanks to said Exocomp. They're here, right? Yeah, I think I've got a pretty decent little surplus for a while here. That was you know, a couple dozen summons in that Borg cube system with Voyager and with, you know, the new Picard and Data and 5 of 11 and the Doctor below deck. So, pretty well stocked up there. So, it's definitely a good thing. Doesn't work on Borg Cube. Using the cutting beam, no, nothing improves the benefit of that. That's a flat standard bonus loot. Nothing improves the cutting beam. This seems really stingy on the officers for the event store. It's all PvP. Those are all the officers that they've released lately, graphics. This is just the standard formula. The officers they put in the store are the officers that they've released in the last few months, going back to when the previous event store was. So these are all the guys that have been released since August. And yes, it was very PvP oriented the last couple of months. So, chance to get officers unlocked, chance to get officers leveled up. You know, here's a chance to get Data leveled up. There's still an event going on to level up Data that gives you faction credits, I think, so he could be an option. Obviously, working on Picard, if you don't have him, to get it's his captain's ability, so that's not going to help you promoting him, but, excuse me, more isolytic damage. Isolytic cascade damage, rather. Always a good thing. You know, there's always the possibility, too, that they might add some of those, like, officer bundles like they used to do, those flash bundles, where it's like, hey, it's 120,000 currency, and you'll get, you know, 50 of these officer shards, and it's, you know, 25 of this guy and 20 of this, or whatever, this girl, and, yeah. We never know. We might see something like that. It might be like, hey, here's your chance to get 20 Harry Kim, 20 B'Elanna Torres, and 20 Tom Paris shards. 60 shards for 120k, 2,000 apiece. That's the appropriate math, right? But they're officers who aren't in these stores, so it's like a one-day only kind of impulse buy. And they might do stuff like that throughout the month. We know that there's going to be events. There's an event right now. Secret Contact. It's a 5-day SLB. This is use your event store currency. Score in this event. Get yourself some extra Harry. It's an SLB, so you get yourself some extra Harry Kim shards. Also, if you finish in the top 25, then you get put into a bonus event that will also require you to spend more of your event store currency. That'll be at the end of the month. There'll be another event for that. So you got to be strategic in how you're spending. The whole thing we used to do where you just kind of wait until the end of the month and then spend it all, they're kind of trying to get away from that. I guess they don't want people keeping track or knowing exactly how much they have or coming up short on the things that they really do want. Or perhaps giving in to some of those impulse buys, since there is like an extra incentive for that. Oh, it's a couple Harry Kim shards, plus it's a chance to be in another event, so... Is B'Elanna there? No, B'Elanna is not in the event store. She was already in the last event store, so it's unlikely she'll be in this one, unless she's part of a bundle. And it would be like a flash sale kind of bundle. So, if you need these officers for PvP options, they're there. If you want to level up 7 of 9 so you get more crit damage versus armadas or something, she's available. If you want Dr. T'Ana to try and help you with some isolytic defense, she's there. You want Alonzo Freeman to help boost your rep gain, he's available. If you don't like any of these officers, well, you probably haven't liked the last couple months of the game then. So then you move on to something different. Ship parts. We got both parts for the Defiant are in here based on your tier. Cerritos is here. Spore Drive to level up the Discovery is here. Monavine parts are here to help you speed up that terribly slow grind. I mean, it's not terribly slow, but it is kind of slow. Titan parts, Fuchsia parts. If you need additional Mantis parts are here, Devore parts. If you need additional regulators or things, if you have a second Franklin or is the Fuchsia one in here? Usually it's here. There's certain ships where you get stuck. There's the Fuchsia warp, yeah. So if you built a second Fuchsia, it'll get stuck at tier 4. This is the only opportunity you have to get the regulator, so you can move it past tier 4. And there should be a second one you'll get stuck at, I think, for tier 9 as well. The first time you go through, you get it for free. If you build the second one, you have to get the extra component that you need, because it doesn't just show up in your gift tab. They only give you the first one free. Fuchsias are less valuable if you have the Ferengi Whip. You don't need them nearly as much. Dart's thinking about those Monavine parts. Gift that keeps on giving. Sure.